Today I'm going to go over every MLB game on the slate for July 17th, 2024 from a betting perspective. I'm going to give you my professional capper leans, and if you have any ideas on the games or you're leaning one way or another, hopefully you can use this information for your benefit. The first game up, we have the Reds at the Pirates. We got Spires going against Skeens. I don't know if I remember seeing the Pirates minus 195 favorites before, but they are today because Skeens is a sensational rookie who is a strikeout master. Spires is somewhat of a tweener, a converted reliever who has only gone over 5 innings one time this season. Spires has pretty decent numbers though, a 1.19 whip and a 2.33 ERA. The problem is, how deep is he going to go in this game? Skeens is that lovable rookie that everyone loves. He's 3-0 with a 2.43 ERA and a 0.96 whip, and it's not like he's dinking and dunking here. He's got 5 starts in a row where he's gone 5 or more innings. He's also struck out 8 or more batters in 4 of his last 5 starts. As I've said in previous videos, I have my own algorithm where I rate teams on hitting, what kind of form they're in, I rank their bullpens, and I also rank their starting pitchers on a curve of 30, so I can compare the starting pitchers to the bullpens to the batters. A pitcher like Spires, I don't really have enough data on him to rank him in here, but I have Skeens ranked 7 out of 30 on the curve. Batting wise, Cincinnati has a slight advantage. I have them ranked 14 out of 30, and I have the Pirates ranked 17 out of 30. Bullpens, Cincinnati has a huge advantage where I have them ranked 14 out of 30 teams, and I have the Pirates ranked 24 out of 30. Given that the batting is pretty even and the Pirates bullpen is atrocious, but they do have a big advantage in starting pitching, perhaps Pirates first 5 would be a good lean here, not an official play. Also, looking at Paul Skeens' strikeout total, they have it at 8.5, which means he'd have to get 9 strikeouts to hit this prop. Skeens is striking out more than 12 per 9 innings, while Cincinnati is striking out right around 9 per 9. But I do think 9 is a little high here. According to my data, Skeens would have to finish 8 innings to get 9 strikeouts, which seems unlikely, but given the fact that he's a strikeout master, anything is possible. So Skeens under 8.5 would be a lean for me as well in this game, but no official play. The next game I'm going to preview here is the San Diego Padres and Philadelphia Phillies. We've got Randy Vasquez towing the mound for the Padres and Christopher Sanchez towing the rubber for the Phillies. Just an overall look at these teams, they almost are mirroring each other as far as the lineup and the bullpens are concerned. Both of them are hitting below average at the moment, and I have them both tied for 18 in hitting out of 30 teams, where I have the bullpens both tied for 15th out of 30 teams. So almost an exact mirror of each other. Where I do give Philadelphia the advantage here is starting pitching. I'm not a big fan of Christopher Sanchez. His whip is over 1.3, which is not desirable. But I do have him ranked 6th out of 30 starting pitchers as I do it on a curve. And I have Vasquez ranked 17th. Aside from getting blown up for 4 runs against the Red Sox in his last start, Christopher Sanchez has not allowed more than 1 earned run in 3 previous starts before that, and also hadn't allowed more than 3 runs in 6 starts before that. So aside from getting blown up once in a while from time to time by a pretty decent Boston lineup, he was actually smooth sailing up to that point. My read on Sanchez is he puts too many guys on base and gets lucky sometimes, but my data really loves him, and they have him ranked on a curve of 36 out of 30 starting pitchers. Vasquez is a bit of a problem. He's got a whip over 1.5. He's got an ERA close to 5.0. Not desirable numbers. It's a pretty good sample size. I mean, he's got 4 starts in a row where he's gone 5 or more innings. So I think these numbers are very indicative of his ability or lack of ability. He's done this against some pretty poor teams like the Rockies and the A's. This is another pitcher who puts too many guys on base. The problem with Vasquez is he's paying for his mistakes, where Sanchez so far has been escaping his mistakes, and obviously his whip is better, so he's making less mistakes than Vasquez. Overall, I would lean towards the Philadelphia side in this one, given the fact that the hitting is even, the bullpens are even, and the starting pitching is a huge discrepancy in favor of the Phillies. I'm not going to play it, though. I don't think they deserve minus 180 against the Padres lineup that can do some damage. There's really not a big sample size either way to judge either starting pitcher against the other lineup, so I'm going to stay off of this game. Let me interrupt the analysis quickly here to tell you that I'm Tokyo Brandon. I'm Wager Talk's #1 all sports profit capper 3 of the last 4 years, and nobody else can say that. I don't have streaks, I have seasons. Currently in 2024, I am plus 140 units. I have doubled my client's bankroll since January 1st. And in Major League Baseball alone, I'm the #1 profit capper at Wager Talk, plus 110 units, doubling my client's bankroll. Go to the link below, and you can get my 2 feature MLB plays today. One other note, at the end of this video, I am going to be playing a scene from a movie. Put the title of the movie below in the description, and the first 3 people who name the title of that movie will get my next 5% play for free. With no further ado, let's get back to the MLB analysis. The next game is the Cardinals at the Marlins. We have Sonny Gray going against Braxton Garrett. One of my 2 feature client plays today is in this game, but I'm going to give you my analysis right here. Neither team is ripping the cover off the ball right now. The St. Louis Cardinals I have ranked 21 out of 30 teams, where I have the Miami Marlins dead last, ranked 30 out of 30 teams in batting. Bullpens, neither team is really impressing. I have the Cardinals toiling in mediocrity, ranked 15 out of 30, where I have the Miami Marlins ranked 23 out of 30. Starting pitching, Sonny Gray is a really good pitcher. I have him ranked 6th out of 30 on my curve of all starting pitchers, ranked on a curve of 30 pitchers, where I have Braxton Garrett ranked 18th. Overall, the Cardinals are obviously a better team, and when there is a big favorite like this, I like to look at the pitcher to record a win. This is quite a high hurdle to get over, because in order to record a win, a pitcher has to throw at least 5 innings, #1. #2, his team has to be leading when he leaves the game. And #3, the bullpen has to be good enough to protect the lead for the rest of the game. Because of these hurdles, you generally will get a very good line for a starting pitcher to record a win, even if the team is favored heavily. And we get that case today where Sonny Gray, his line to record a win is plus 140 at DraftKings, and I think that's a great plus money play to put some money on and make a profit. The Cardinals' bullpen is not very good, but given the fact that they're going against the worst lineup in Major League Baseball, they should be able to put up some runs before Gray comes out, and the bullpen should be able to hold on to those runs. So the free play for this video is Sonny Gray to record a win, plus 140 at DraftKings. The next game to preview is the Boston Red Sox at the Toronto Blue Jays. We've got Nick Pivetta taking the mound for the Red Sox, and we've got Yusei Kikuchi going against the Red Sox for the Blue Jays. So when I preview a game, the first thing I look at is teams batting, bullpens, and starting pitching here. I've got Boston batting 5th out of 30 teams in all of Major League Baseball, where I have the Toronto Blue Jays ranked 26th out of 30. So big advantage for the Red Sox there. Bullpens, fairly even. I have the Blue Jays ranked 7, and I have the Boston Red Sox ranked 9. And starting pitching ranked on that 30 pitcher curve. I have these starting pitchers almost dead even. I have Pivetta ranked 14, and I have Kikuchi ranked 13. Nick Pivetta in his career against these batters has been absolutely blown up. In a huge sample size of 161 at-bats against, he allows a .304 batting average against and an unbelievable .934 OPS. Those are horrible numbers. Kikuchi doesn't fare much better against the Boston batters. It's a smaller sample size of 37 batters, but he allows a .297 average against and an .837 OPS, which is really high. The bullpens are pretty good, and one team is batting quite well, but both of these starting pitchers get absolutely blown up against the other batters. Right now, looking at the over-under for this game, it's 7.5, which seems really low to me. I don't have an official play on this game, but if I were to lean one way, I would say over 7.5 for this one. The next game that I'm going to preview here is the Detroit Tigers at the Atlanta Braves. Reese Olson takes the mound for the Tigers, and Max Fried takes the mound for the Braves. Max Fried burned me in his last start. He had been absolutely cruising, not allowing more than 3 earned runs in 6 straight starts, and then boom, the Orioles just exploded on him in his last start, allowing 4 runs in 5 innings. Despite that bad start, he's still a really good pitcher. He's got a whip of 1.06 and an ERA a little high, 3.2. I like Max Fried, but I think he's pitching a little over his head this season. And Atlanta is still being loved by the books, despite losing their best hitter, and the hitters that they do have, like Riley and Olson, are severely underperforming. Reese Olson is one of Detroit's better pitchers, but he's hit a major road bump here. He's allowed 17 earned runs in his last 3 starts, which is damaging his numbers quite heavily. But Max Fried has 36 at-bats against these batters. He's allowed a .250 average against and an .825 OPS, which is a little bit high. The Tigers are a top 10 hitting team in Major League Baseball and in great form. I have them ranked 9 out of 30 teams, where I have Atlanta dead in the middle, ranked 15 out of 30 teams in hitting. The Tigers also have an advantage in the bullpen. I have their bullpen ranked 13, while I have Atlanta's bullpen ranked 23. Starting pitching, obviously Max Fried has an advantage over Reese Olson, but the books love Atlanta a little too much. Right now, Atlanta is minus 205, and there's no way you can take that given the fact that the Tigers are hitting a lot better and they have a better bullpen. And if you don't trust Reese Olson, which I really don't, maybe take the Tigers team total over. Right now, you can get the Tigers over 3.5, and I think given Atlanta's poor bullpen woes, that might be a decent play to lean on as well, but it's not an official play. The next game to preview is the Mets at the Rangers. We've got David Peterson going against Jon Gray. I do have an official client play in this game, but let me give you my preview and breakdown. The Mets are hitting quite well right now. I have them ranked 12th out of 30 teams, while Texas is still in a quagmire. I have them ranked 22 in hitting out of 30. Bullpen-wise, the Mets had some early struggles with Diaz, but since removing him from the closer role, I have their bullpen ranked number 1 out of 30 teams, and I have Texas's bullpen ranked 13. Starting pitcher, David Peterson, not a lot of faith in him. I have him ranked 22 out of 30 pitchers, curved, and I have Jon Gray ranked 14. So neither starting pitcher is great. Neither team is hitting particularly well, although the Mets have the better bullpen, the better batting. I don't like David Peterson very much, but a Mets team total over or even lean on the Mets perhaps in this game. But I do have a paid client play for this game, which you can get at this link below. The next game to preview is the Giants at Cubs. We've got Jordan Hicks going against Assad. You know, I don't have a really strong opinion in this game, but I'll just give you my numbers for it. I do not have an official play in this, but I can tell you that the Giants are batting 17th out of 30 teams, while the Cubs are batting 25th out of 30 teams. Bullpen-wise, the Giants have a big advantage. I have them ranked 8th, while I have the Cubs ranked 12th. So 2 poor hitting teams, 2 strong bullpens usually leans to an under. And I have 2 very mediocre starting pitchers. I have them both tied at 14 out of 30 pitches. So very mediocre pitching, very poor batting, and 2 pretty good bullpens. Usually leans to a stuck-in-the-mud kind of under game. It's not an official play, but if I had to lean anything in this game, I would lean to the under. 2 more games on the slate, but I'll tell you right now, the Dodgers at Rockies, I'm not even going to preview it. I think the Rockies playing in that ridiculous ballpark is so ridiculous. I refuse to cap games that are played in Colorado. Factors that are unpredictable and unreliable, the worst job I will do giving you bettable information. So any game played in this ballpark, I automatically skip. What I can tell you is Quantrill is actually a better pitcher than Paxton, but the Rockies are terrible at hitting. They have an awful bullpen. The Dodgers bullpen is pretty mediocre, and their hitting is great. Do with whatever you want with that information. But when I have the better lineup with the worst pitcher against a poor lineup with the better pitcher, you don't really know what to expect. Add to the fact that they're playing in this really silly ballpark. It's like a clown show, and I'm not going to cap this game. Last game for the night is the Brewers at Angels. The Brewers are putting relief pitcher Carlos Rodriguez on the mound, while the Angels are putting Jose Soriano on the mound. I actually have watched Soriano pitch, and I like what he's doing. I have him ranked 12th out of 30 pitchers on a curve, and I think he's actually a really good pitcher. Rodriguez is a guy who has very little experience. He's only pitched 3.2 innings so far in this season. He did round up 4 strikeouts in that game, but he allowed 2 earned runs. He's basically a relief pitcher, and you can't expect him to pitch very deep, so they'll probably rely on their bullpen in this game. The Brewers started the season hitting like crazy, but right now I have them ranked 26 out of 30 teams, so their bats have gotten really cold, while the Troutless Angels have some really good young talent on their team, and they're hitting 11th out of 30 teams. So batting advantage is Angels. Bullpen advantage is the Brewers. I have the bullpen ranked 11, while I have the Angels bullpen ranked 30 out of 30 teams. They're atrocious. One play to maybe take in this one is Jose Soriano is only striking out about 6.8 batters per 9 innings, while Milwaukee is striking out less than 9 per 9 per game. Jose Soriano's strikeout prop here is 5.5. Seems a little high. I don't think he gets to 6. I project his strikeouts at 5.2. So if you can get the under 5.5, it might be a decent play. It's a good lean. It's not an official play, but if anything in this game, I might take that, or even the Angels' first 5. Go to this link below, and you can get my 2 feature MLB plays today. I'm Wager Talk's #1 Major League Baseball profit capper in 2024, doubling the client's bankroll at plus 110%. I'm also Wager Talk's #1 all sports profit capper 3 of the last 4 years. Nobody else can say that. I don't have streaks, I have seasons. If you like what I'm giving you in these videos, please hit the like. It'll show Wager Talk that you like what I'm doing, and they'll let me do it more. Also, subscribe to the channel to get notified when more free play videos come out. That's the preview for today. I'll be back with more.
Touch me, and I'll kill you.
Lighten up, Francis.